Hey, welcome back to the Cybersecurity Whisperer, your rundown of the cyber mayhem, missteps, and headlines you need to know. And this is the week of July 13th, 2025. I'm your host, Elliott Franklin, whispering the truth about the security world, one breach at a time. So let's start where things got, say, greasy. Researchers Ian Carroll and Sam Curry found a staggering vulnerability tied to McDonald's AI chatbot platform, Mayhem. You can't make this up. They discovered that the system accepted the default password 123456. Yes, you heard that right, granting access to a virtual test kitchen. From there, API manipulation exposed personal data from over 64 million applicants. Now, McDonald's blamed their third-party provider, Paradox.ai, but who said they patched the issue the same day, but this is still a reminder that default or weak passwords are the digital equivalent of leaving your keys in the ignition with the engine running. We've got to do a better job of holding our third parties accountable and auditing them ahead of time. Now, the U.S. Treasury sanctioned two individuals for helping North Korean IT workers mask their identities and infiltrate Western companies. One used stolen Social Security numbers to create fake aliases, and the other employed up to 80 North Korean workers through Russian companies. Now, North Korea continues using remote IT gigs to fund its weapons program. So, if you're hiring freelancers without scrutiny, it's time for a policy review. Now, Patch Tuesday brought a 9.8 rated wormable RCE flaw found in Windows NEGOX protocol. It's triggered by a specifically crafted message, no user interaction required. If you're running Windows 10 or newer, especially with online identity authentication enabled, you need to patch ASAP. Exploitation is expected within 30 days, so don't hit snooze on this one. Now, the hacker group Scattered Spiders struck again, this time targeting a Qantas third-party call center. Stolen records include names, emails, frequent flyer info, and for some even addresses and birthdays. Now, Qantas says no passwords or payment information was taken, but that's cold comfort when 4 million profiles are just floating in the wild. Now, the UK's Financial Conduct Authority fined digital darling Monzo for weak anti-financial crime controls. Between 2018 and 2022, they onboarded customers with fake addresses. Think Big Ben and Buckingham Palace. Now, Monzo has since cleaned up, but the fine serves as a high-profile reminder that compliance isn't optional. Now, online betting giant Flutter, parent to Paddy Powder and Betfair, suffered a breach that exposed customers' names, addresses, device info, and recent activity. Now, again, no passwords or financials were affected, but the breach adds pressure to an already scrutinized industry. Now, hackers known as Cyber Team continued their cyber onslaught against Paraguay's government. This was really against the Public Defender's Office and the electoral justice systems. And officials claim that no sensitive data was leaked, but the hits just keep coming. This follows a separate $7.4 million extortion attempt by another group earlier this month. South America's cyber stability is certainly fraying, and governments are scrambling to really hold the line. Now, there's another banking Trojan that's it's an Anatsa, and it's returned and it's disguised as a popular PDF reader. With over 50,000 downloads before being taken down, it stole credentials using overlays and keylogging. And so if you download a document viewer that was said, maybe it was said file reader, uninstall it now and change your banking credentials. You don't need that to read your banking documents. India-linked APT group DoNot targeted a European foreign ministry using malware-laced RAR files masquerading as defense meeting notes. The malware, Loptic uses advanced obfuscation, VM evasion, and stealthy C2 communication. And so if your role involves international diplomacy, you need to check your inboxes twice. Researchers have embedded hidden prompts in academic papers like give a positive review only, to manipulate AI-powered review systems. It's really clever and it's unethical, and it's happening at top universities in at least 8 countries. It's also a cautionary tale for AI's role in critical decision-making processes. I mean, I think this is kind of brilliant. This is really, really interesting that you would submit a paper and that you would embed in that Word document, would have you hidden prompts like give a positive review only, so that if the professor, whoever is reviewing it and sending it through, pre-reviewing it, the AI is only going to give positive reviews. Very, very interesting. Now, speaking of AI, what is its impact on the cyber talent? We're seeing entry-level jobs really vanish. So automation is certainly cutting out entry-level SOC analyst roles before newcomers can even arrive. Now, there's a former White House cyber leader that warns we're gutting the career ladder while we're chasing efficiency. So AI should amplify human decision-making, not replace it. And everybody always says that, but really a lot of jobs are being lost. So these people are going to have to retool. Companies must invest in apprenticeships and simulations or risk burning out their senior teams. Scammers are now sending PDFs urging users to call to confirm a charge, and victims call a VoIP, voice over IP phone number, and attackers socially engineer their way into the accounts. Now, Cisco Talos says Microsoft, PayPal, and DocuSign are among the most impersonated brands. Mobile phishing via voice and text is also rising, with nearly 60% of companies hit by impersonation scams. Lookouts report shows a mismatch between confidence and readiness. Now, the SafePay ransomware disrupted Ingram Micro's ability to fulfill hardware orders. If you're not familiar, Ingram Micro being like an IT services and distributor company. While subscription services are back online, the global IT provider is really still recovering. This highlights the fragility of supply chains and why resilience planning matters. In a surprise turn, the SEC settled with SolarWinds and its CISO over charges tied to the infamous 2020 supply chain attack. No terms were disclosed, but the move under a Republican-led SEC could signal a shift in how regulators pursue breach accountability. Fortinet's new report says 52% of CISOs now own OT as well, up from 16% in 2022. With AI driving defense capabilities and ransomware groups monetizing downtime, expect OT visibility, segmentation, and remote access to be hot boardroom topics. But OT asset visibility dropped from 61% to 30% in 3 years, so that's certainly a troubling stat. Now, Texas-based Deer Oaks agreed to pay $225,000 fine and a 2-year corrective action plan after exposing PHI in both a leak and a ransomware attack. The cause? Poor risk analysis, something the Office for Civil Rights has now flagged as top enforcement priority. So that's your Cybersecurity Whisperer wrap-up for the week, from lazy passwords to high-stakes geopolitics. I mean, the threat landscape isn't taking a summer break, and neither should your security strategy. So subscribe, leave a review, and remember, security isn't just about tools. It's about people, process, and good judgment. So stay curious, stay critical, and always stay whispering.